Hi everyone, Paul here from the DFS Zone. The main goal of the DFS Zone is to help you make picks on your own by providing full statistics correlated with PrizePicks props. The DFS Zone, where you become the guru. My server checks PrizePicks every 5 minutes for updates, so you always have the latest available props. Come check out my Patreon at patreon.com/thedfszone. 12 game MLB slate today, and in this video I'm going to go over a few props that I like so far. Before we continue, please help support my site and do like, share, and subscribe. Alright, so first up, we'll go to pitching notes. My top prop here is Kyle Freeland. Let's have a closer look here. The over-under is 15.5. My model projects this to hit at 68%. As you can see, so last 5 games he's got an average of 17.4, last 10, 17.7. He's hit 8 out of the last 10. He had a shorter outers last time, but I think he just threw too many pitches. But in general, he is way over 15.5 pitching outs. So yeah, give me Kyle Freeland over 15.5 pitching outs. Alright, next up we'll head over to the pitcher fantasy score tab. The next one that I like a lot is Zach Pleesack. Let's have a look at his prop. So the over-under is 18.5. He's hit 8 out of his last 10. His average in the last 5 and last 10 are way over at 28 and 26.9. In his last outing, he only pitched 3.2 innings, so that's why he didn't get there last time. Not quite sure what happened there. But in general, his fantasy score is way over 18.5. And in general, he doesn't even need to get you the win. So give me Zach Pleesack over 18.5 fantasy score. Alright, so next up, let's go back to pitching outs. Let's have a look at the next one here, JT Brubaker. The over-under is 17.5. He tends to go at least 18. Last time out against Chicago, he went 18. So the line is tight, but I think he can get there. So give me JT Brubaker over 17.5 pitching outs. Alright, so next up we got Drew Hutchinson pitching at home in Detroit. Let's have a closer look. So the over-under is 14.5. He's only 3 out of his last 5 and only 3 out of his last 10. But if you look at his player history, his innings pitch has only recently been trending up. Before that, he wasn't pitching a lot of innings, max 2 or 3. So in his last 5, he's gone at least 4 innings, and he's still trending up at this time. So the over/under is only 14.5. I think he can get at least 15. So give me Drew Hutchinson over 14.5 pitching outs. Alright, so this next one I really don't love that much, but it did kind of catch my eye for a couple of reasons, so let's have a look. Noah Syndergaard. Over/under is 17.5. If you look at his away games, which is this game is an away game, he tends to go over. So only 15 against Miami, only 14 against LA, only 7 against New York, only 2 against Texas. So in his last 10, he's not gone over in an away game. And for that reason, I like the under on this one. Just make note though, last time he played Kansas City, he did go 22. So really, yeah, I don't love this one, but I just thought I'd show it to you anyway. Alright, next we'll have a look at the strikeouts tab. Unlike yesterday where there was a ton of overs that I liked, today there's not much here that I like for overs on the strikeouts. So we're going to look at a couple unders. We'll start with Tyler Gilbert down here. So if you look at his over/under, it's 3.5 strikeouts. He's only gotten there once in the last, 7 games. Last time out against San Francisco, he only got 2. He's pitching plenty, so there's no real change in the amount of innings that he's pitching. So just based on his history, give me the under on this one. Alright, next up we've got Austin Voth, pitcher for Baltimore. He's pitching at home against Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay does strike out quite a bit. However, in his last appearance against Tampa Bay, he only got 2. The time before that, he did get 4. He has gone over only once. That was against LA. LA strikes out the most in the league. And now if we have a closer look at some of his player statistics, he does not pitch a lot of innings. He does not throw a lot of pitches. So he does not have a lot of time to get to four strikeouts, and for that reason, I'm taking the under on Austin Voth, under 4 strikeouts. All right, the next two are both for Nick Pivetta. We'll start with pitches thrown. I prefer the other one, but let's go over this one as well. So the over/under is 92.5. You can see he's been under the last 3 games, so I kind of like them to go over and break this trend. Um, he's going up against Cleveland. Last time against Cleveland, he had 98. Just based on his history, he's been in a bit of a slump. I like him to break out of that slump today. So give me over 92.5 pitches thrown, Nick Pivetta. All right, so next is Nick Pivetta again. I do like this one more than his pitches thrown. Let's have a closer look. So he's at home against Cleveland. Last time out against Cleveland, he allowed 9 hits. His 5 game average is 7.4, 10 game average is 5.7. Although he is trending up in his last 5 games, hitting 4 out of his last 5. Cleveland has the 7 most hits in the league, so yeah, I think it's the difference between his average and this particular prop just looks too good to pass up. So give me over 5.5 hits allowed, Nick Pivetta. All right, next we'll head over to walks allowed. We'll start with Austin Voth. We did look at him earlier for strikeouts, I believe. So the over/under is 1.5 walks allowed. He's only been over 1 time so far. He does not pitch a lot of innings or throw a lot of pitches, so he does not have a lot of time to get there. So give me under 1.5 walks allowed, Austin Voth. All right, next up we've got Chris Flexon, or I like the over on walks allowed. Let's have a closer look. So the over/under is 1.5. Last game against Texas, he only got 1, but if you look at his stats, he only pitched 3.2 innings. So not quite sure what happened there. He seemed to get pulled early on that one. I wouldn't expect that to happen 2 games in a row. He's consistently over 1.5. So yeah, give me Chris Flexon over 1.5 walks allowed. All right, so next up, we'll quickly have a look at some of the hitter fantasy scores. For hitters, I generally like to take the unders. I just find the hitters are just too inconsistent to place bets on. So yeah, we have here hitter fantasy score. We'll scroll down to the bottom. I've already filtered out the bottom 10 here. I took out Trey Mancini and Jesse Winker. I didn't like their history against the pitcher they're facing today. So if I filter on what I put a yes next to, these are the hitter fantasy scores that I like the under on, starting from the bottom going up. We'll just quickly go through them without analyzing too much. By the way, these have about a 64% chance of hitting based on my models. So as you can see, he's only hit 1 out of the last 10 here, Garrett Cooper. Next, Wilmer Flores. Again, only hit 1 out of his last 10. Tommy Pham, again, 1 out of his last 10. Christian Walker, 2 out of his last 10, 0 out of his last 5. Miguel Cabrera, 7 out of his last 10, 0 for his last 5. Xander Bogaerts, a good player. I don't like to take the under on a good player like that. However, as you can see, he's a little cold. 0 out of his last 5. But before that, he did hit 4 of the 5. So probably stay away from this one. Next up, Jock Peterson. 1 out of his last 10. And last but not least, Taylor Ward, who is also 1 out of his last 10. Okay, so that's all I have for picks for today. I went over quite a few. I wouldn't expect them all to hit. However, I do believe I give you some good guidance on some good picks to go for. The whole goal of this site is not to provide you with picks, more just to provide you with the tools so that you can make the picks on your own. Okay, thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you find this video useful. Come check out my Patreon at patreon.com/TheDFSZone and subscribe to get access to the MLB spreadsheets and cards. Don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Hope you all have a great day.